Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, and I've got Frank Marshall, executive producer of Sinatra, complimenting my camera, and my cameraman's awesome, by the way. This movie is awesome, Sinatra. To make a documentary about arguably the most celebrated performer of any generation, talk to me about putting this story out there and having HBO behind it.
Well, that was my first question when I met with Nancy Sinatra, was what do we got that's new? You know, this was about 5 years ago, and we knew that this was the 100th anniversary of his birth, and they wanted to do something special, and I said, well, what do you got? And she said, well, I've got this film in my bedroom of a concert in 1971 that's nobody's seen before. And I said, I'm in. And here we are.
You just wanted to see the concert.
I wanted to see it. And it's 11 songs. He was at the height of his powers, and it's just amazing. So we built the show. Alex took those songs and built the show around that. I mean, we could have done 10 hours, but we only had 4, so we had to put it in that box.
When you have the family behind you, we're talking again about arguably the most legendary entertainer in history, but when you get the family behind this, how much oomph does that add to the project?
Well, it adds everything, because we couldn't have done it without the family. I mean, who else has 8mm film of Frank with the kids on Toluca Lake? I mean, they just don't have it. So you're going to see things in this show that have never been seen before. You're going to hear things. You're going to hear a side of Frank, not the formal side, the casual side. He's a little rough every once in a while with the language, so, but get ready.
When you're telling the legacy of Frank Sinatra, do you find yourself a fan on the project? Do you say, all right, I've got a job to do here, but I'm a fan as well?
I was a huge fan. I could run this movie over and over again forever. I mean, I just loved working on it because every time I got a new cut from Alex or a new scene, it would be the first thing I did. I couldn't get enough of it.
Speaking of Alex, he's right behind you, and he's the most talked about director right now in town.
How about that?
This guy's a talented guy. Talk to me about having him direct this thing.
Well, I had just finished. Actually, I first mentioned this project to Alex when we were doing the Armstrong Lie. And I had sort of lived through a big flip-flop in a story, a movie we'd finished, and then we found out something else, and we went back and redid it. And I knew that Alex was a serious documentary filmmaker because he wants to understand what makes the subject tick. That's what he was interested in about Lance, and that's what he was interested in about Sinatra. And, you know, warts and all. You know, it's not just a puff piece. And I knew that Alex would go and find out and dig deep and get to who the real man was. And that was important.